Hi, I'm Brett Parker, multimedia specialist for Candy Industry Magazine. And today we're focusing on Face Twister's freeze-dried sour candy bits, which contains bite-sized freeze-dried candy pieces with an easy-to-eat shape that delivers an intense sour punch and a flavor explosion in every crunch. Here to discuss this product is Steve Schuster, president of Schuster Products. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us, Brett.
Can you tell us the inspiration behind the creation of freeze-dried sour candy bits?
Sure, I can. In the early years of some of the boom of social media, some of the different platforms like TikTok and Instagram, etc. I really personally was not on those platforms, and right around that time, our brand was going viral. We were one of the early brands to go viral on TikTok. And actually, the main inspiration for me behind the freeze dried process, was actually my wife. My wife had purchased a large bag of freeze dried candy from a farmer's market and gave it to me, asking if I was aware of the concept and the products, which, I have to admit, I was not aware of it at the time. I took great interest of trying to learn and understand everything about the process, and really found deep interest in it because I myself was just amazed with the intense flavor release that came off of the freeze dried process. And I felt it would really work well with our products. Our customers that reach out to us and that talk to us online or on social media, they always want to experience or try new face twister products in different formats, different product types. So we thought that going into freeze dried with one different or one type of product was something that we were going to pursue. So currently today we have one item, but we have it in three different pack sizes. We introduced that to the industry in an email that went out through the Candy and Snack Today magazine, and I think we had one of the highest open rates of of any ad that had ever gone out. In addition to that, last year we won an award for having the best non-chocolate novelty item released last year from 60 major buyers across the country.
I want to talk for a second about consumer data in terms of freeze-dried candy. What does it reveal about consumers' relationship to freeze-dried candy? Is it popular with them?
Well, it actually kind of ties in with the whole boom of social media, which is really, a lot of it is about experiences, and curiosity. A lot of the younger crowd was really curious about what freeze drying was when it first came out, and they wanted to experience a new concept. Their feelings are is that it has intense flavor release. Um, the product can be used on ice cream and yogurt and things like that. It has a longer shelf life to it. It's very portable. And it's really, really, to be honest with you, was driven by curiosity.
What do you feel is the biggest challenge in creating a freeze-dried candy product?
Well, I think the biggest challenge is a large amount of candy products may not have the physical makeup that works best with the freeze drying process. Some products people think would freeze dry well, actually do not freeze dry well. A product has to have a certain amount of free water in its structure, a certain amount of sugar in its structure. Some products that have that have fats or gels will not work effectively. Some products actually don't do anything when they attempt to freeze dry them. So it's not as easy or as consistent as most people would think, and it's really a difficult process. And when you look at the price that freeze dried items are sold at, that takes into effect the long drying process, the difficulty of mastering, the amount of cold air that's put into the product, and to remove the water while it's frozen, and to try to maintain the structure of the product. That's one of the biggest tricks towards um, freeze drying. So we as a company basically spent about a year and a half or 2 years really just watching the first entrepreneurs and people launch products nationally, trying to understand what people like about those products and don't like about those products, and where there might be some issues or challenges with these items that we might be able to improve upon. And we feel we've done that in our product. We went all over the world searching for products that could be freeze dried. We visited multiple processing facilities, talked with numerous experts in the industry, and we're very happy with the product that we've launched.
Has creating this product taught you anything new about the art of product creation in general?
Actually, it has. One would never realize how difficult this process is, um, and how expensive it is, and how much time is involved in it. And, I think as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we might think that things can be done quick and easy. And the more and more we do this, and I've been involved in dozens of creating new products and launches, is that it takes a long time. It can take a couple years to get an item launched. And you might think that you have everything figured out, but you actually don't. In terms of our product itself, what we had made a decision to do is we didn't want to have a window in the package. A lot of marketing people believe in having a window, but in talking with some major buyers, we found that dust and residue that shows up on the window has caused a lot of consumer complaints. Um, we also realize that, especially when you're selling a sour brand like we have, the more sour that you put into a product, the more likely you're going to cause a hydroscopic effect to the product. So what we decided to do is to use a hermetically sealed package with a foil barrier to protect the product from any moisture absorption, because various freeze-dried items have had a lot of issues in the marketplace. Many of them broken into dust, into pieces. Many of them turn into a lump of sugar on the bottom of the package. Some of them have melted. So we have a really good shelf stable item. And another reason why retailers and wholesalers may want to consider an item like this is, of course, these are higher priced items. So they can get a better ring on the item. The product itself um, also has a longer shelf life, a much longer shelf life than the standard candy. And it has a wider demographic. I mean, older people in some cases don't like to have chewy candy stick to their fillings, um, their crowns, things like that. And also the young people have been watching freeze drying on social media as it went viral. So it just creates a whole new segment. And I think the data shows that it's basically coming up on a $200 million category. It's growing at 35% this year. It has a household penetration rate of over 5% already. On a global basis, it's predicted to be a $5 billion segment by the year 2034.
Is continuing to explore innovation in the freeze-dried candy space something that is of high interest to your brand?
So, Face Twisters was one of the early entrants as an all sour candy brand, going back 28 years. Um, as you know, sour has grown continuously. In the early years, it was an erratic category that was kind of up and down and all over the place. And now it's just consistently growing every year, not too much and not too little. Um, a lot of the major brands have launched sour items. We tend to believe that they always cannibalize their sweet items when they do that, and I'm sure there's some data proving that. But with our brand, what we've tried to do is to extend the brand into different product formats. We've tried to watch what are the formats that are growing quickly, which formats are trending, and where can we bring our knowledge of sour and improve the experience with a much stronger taste, a quicker delivery of flavor, and a high intensity sour that the Face Twister customers have grown to love.
Sounds fascinating. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Steve Schuster of Schuster Products, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Brett. We appreciate it.
And thank you all for watching.